It's going to be the game. It's going to be the series on the back of a quadra kill by Darshan. Counter Logic Gaming taking a hard-fought victory over NRG Esports.
This clash between Apex and Team Liquid. A lot on the line here for both teams today. Phoenix will keep running, but Apollo wants it. Who takes him out, gets the quadra. That's the ace, and Apex, they'll take this series.
What a series from Apex. No one would have expected them to take down Liquid.
Apex is dreaming of a miracle postseason berth.
Welcome, League fans everywhere, to the North American LCS. Now, the final weekend of the 2016 summer split ends here today in Los Angeles, California. Fans are loaded in and ready for one final day of summer fun before promotion and playoffs. Now, first place TSM, they arrived in force earlier. Doublelift still on his quest for 1,000 kills, flanked by Biofrost, Vanscaren, and Coach Weldon. They'll match up against NRG in just a few moments. OQ and Coach Hermit seen here heading into the arena for their match. Special gives fans a wave on the way in. He'll have his playoff hopes on the line against defending champion CLG, getting locked in on the Battle Theater stage for their showdown with Apex as we speak. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm James Dash Patterson, joined by Mark Zimmerman and Alberto Crumbs Rengifo to close out our regular season. How are we doing?
Pretty good. Looking forward to some of the matches today. Not quite what we were expecting, but there's still a lot on the line.
Yeah, there's a couple different places within the standings where there's still some room left to jostle and move into the postseason with advantages. But the majority of our playoff picture is figured out.
Personally, I'm looking forward to the games where teams know that there's nothing else at stake. Pick whatever you want, have some fun with it, see what happens. We heard there might be some TSM Teemos.
Yeah. I heard a little birdie told me that there might be a Teemo.
23,000 birdies.
Yeah. There were. That didn't say how many.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into discussion, let's see how the teams are stacked up. TSM has locked in the first seed in playoffs, followed by Immortals in second, Cloud9 in third, CLG in fourth, and Liquid in fifth. Team Envy and Apex are currently tied in sixth, but Envy own the head-to-head tiebreaker, putting them on top. And at the bottom of the ladder, eliminated from playoffs, are Phoenix One, NRG, and Echo Fox. Turning to the schedule that we have for us today to conclude our regular season summer matches. The final four are on NALCS 1. TSM takes a victory lap and sharpens their skills for playoffs against NRG. Following that, Liquid and Cloud9 go head-to-head to gain momentum for the postseason. In the Battle Theater, Counter Logic Gaming faces off against Apex, who must win to keep their playoff hopes alive. But Envy are in control of their own destiny in their match against Echo Fox. A win puts them in the postseason. Now, first, let's briefly recap some of the action from yesterday. Now, Apex took down Team Liquid. That was pretty big for them in terms of keeping their playoff hopes alive. They're looking a lot better, at least in the last few weeks. The question is, though, can they make it given the fact they don't control their own destiny, since Envy can lock in their own playoff win?
Regardless of the fact that they're not fully in control of their destiny, they're still going to be able to push harder to CLG and make sure that if they at least secure their end, then maybe their stars will align and Fox will pick up a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the question. It's definitely one of the more important matches of the day. Just the fact that Apex could have this kind of late season surge after a lot of us started dismissing them.
Very much so.
A little bit because they were struggling in the middle, but Keen's really turned it on, raised back in form mostly, and the team looks pretty re-energized, and it'd be nice to see them make the playoffs. I personally would prefer, because I think they look a little bit stronger than Envy.
All right, well, yeah, CLG Apex is first series of the day, followed by that Envy versus Echo Fox matchup. So Apex will have either gotten their win or their loss, and then be sitting on the sidelines as Echo Fox fans for the remainder of the day.
Yeah.
Now, Liquid's loss alongside the wins of Cloud9 and CLG solidified the 3 through 5 slots, which sets up CLG and Liquid for a meeting in the quarterfinal round of the playoffs.
Yep, and I think the big question mark is Liquid moving forward. Obviously, CLG struggled in their matchup versus NRG as well, but for the most part, they were able to win it pretty securely. Team Liquid, on the other hand, had a number of questionable plays, not respecting enemies collapsing, not respecting Baron threat, just overall playing a fairly brain-dead series overall, and it's something that's plagued them for most of the season.
Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate, or it's an interesting and intriguing series from the perspective that it seemed clear that Team Liquid is the better players. Like within that loss, within that series, it was clear that they were the better players, but as a team, were making too many dumb decisions and mistakes to walk away with the wins.
And I think that Apollo had a really good point where he said that he felt like CLG and Liquid are basically the same team. They're really close to each other. So I think that if we can really look to what Apex handles on CLG, and we can compare that to how they handled Liquid, then we can really determine how the playoff picture between CLG and Liquid will look like, as they both have this unique matchup.
Now, CLG does continue to rise in the standings, at least on the back half of the split. However, the most recent few games didn't look phenomenal. Even in their victory yesterday, we definitely saw a few hiccups for the squad.
I mean, even if you count their win versus Team Liquid last week, is the same kind of story where they fall behind early but are able to make a comeback. Especially in Game 3, we saw NRG take a very commanding lead of bot lane, seeing some questionable plays out of Afro and Stixxay, but because they have better macro understanding and decisive shot calling, they're able to claw their way back into the game. But you can't afford to fall behind like that in the playoffs versus much more competent teams who can actually close games out.
I wouldn't be surprised if Apex takes this to a 3-game series and even takes a whole thing against CLG, because they will play a little bit faster and they are going to capitalize on these mistakes. And their macro, while it's not the perfect, it has been to the level that it needs to be.
Well, some of our series today have standings implications, postseason implications. Some of them do not, but that doesn't mean that they don't have other implications such as records. So TSM playing once again today, and we've still got our eyes on Doublelift as he approaches that 1,000 kills mark in the regular season. Only 9 more kills needed across a minimum 2 games today in order to eclipse that 1,000.
He can do it.
Yeah,
He can absolutely do it.
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take the bet he doesn't do it,
Okay.
but I expect to lose.
Dude,
So I have really good odds. I have like 10 to 1
It sucks
odds.
that you live in Vegas. How do you?
I don't go out.
stays away from the script.
Yeah, not
as
doing
often
so
as
good
possible. Yeah, I'm certain he can do it, but we'll find out soon enough. With the regular season wrapping up, we're getting a little nostalgic though here at the North American LCS, and we want you at home to help us out by answering our social media question of the day. What was your favorite moment from the 2016 NALCS Summer Split? Tweet to us at LollySports and use the hashtag LOCKIN to submit your responses. We'll choose some of your tweets later in the show and broadcast them. All right, but that's going to do it for us here at the desk. It's time to head to the casters for the call of our final day of action.